since I could remember that told me I had to be within the lines of 2 degrees and 9 to 5. And I've been working after work since last September. Working after work, yeah. I stay up late on the weekdays. I never tell when we say. I never wanna look back and wish I could have been. I've never got no regret. The hours I've been putting in. So take a chance on faith. Your mind's a boundless place. So take a chance. A chance on faith. So take a chance. Take a chance on faith. So take a chance. I never wanna look back. Take a chance. Take a chance on faith. Take a chance on faith. I could have been. I've never got no regret. The hours I've been putting in. So take a chance on faith. Your mind's a boundless place. So take a chance. Take a chance. A chance on faith. So take a chance.
All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success. I want to say thanks for joining us on the live stream. Today might look a little bit different. As you can see more of me. You can see my hands because I'm using a different camera because like 20 minutes ago, my main camera decided to go out on me. So I'm using a different camera. Things might be a little weird. Let me apologize in advance. But today we're going to be talking about how to create a better homepage. So guys, we've been doing site reviews for a while now. There's some common things that we frequently see on those site reviews. I'm going to talk about those and show you how to set up your homepage to have a better homepage on your site. It's January 9th, 2020. How is everybody's new year? How's 2020 treating you guys so far? Let me know in the chats, and make sure you say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Just say hi. We appreciate you guys who come on here week after week and hang out with us. And if this is your first time, definitely say hi. Let us know where you're coming in and joining us from. But today we're going to be talking about creating a better homepage. So we're going to go through the process of selecting the right photos. And I'm going to take some time on that because there's a lot of things I think that you should consider when you're selecting the right photos for your homepage, not just starting out, but as your business grows and progresses. So we're going to spend some time on that. Then we're going to talk about using your header menu, how to use drop downs. And then we're going to talk about designing a path for your visitors. And then finally, utilizing your welcome message. Now, as always, hanging out with me, I've got Richard taking care of you guys in chat. So make sure that you show him some love.
Mike! I found the chocolate bunny!
And as we go along, if you have any questions, whether it's about what we're talking about today, or if it's something entirely off topic, but Zenfolio related or not Zenfolio related, make sure that you get those questions in the chat so I can get those answered live for you today. A couple of announcements. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to my wife. Tomorrow is her 23rd birthday. 23rd birthday to my beautiful wife, so happy birthday. I don't know how you put up with me for so long, dear, but I want to wish you a wonderful and happy birthday, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Next, Imaging USA is coming up, you guys, January 19th through the 21st, and it's going to be in Nashville. So if you're going to be in Nashville around that time, or if you plan on going to Imaging USA, make sure that you swing by the booth. It's booth number 563. And go say hi to Richard. Richard's going to be there, so make sure that you guys go say hi to Richard. I heard that we're going to be giving away some iPhone 11 Pros and some cash and other prizes. So make sure that you go by and say hi to Richard. Let's see, we've got Peter Hosky, hopefully I said your name right, hanging out with us. We've got Craigslist, Charles Bloom, Peter Kaval from the Czech Republic. Hey, Peter, thanks for jumping on here and hanging out. Roxanne, as always, we love having you hang out with us. Twilly, I'm trying to say it right. Twilly53 says hello, and Holy Union says hi from Philly. So thank you guys again for jumping on here and hanging out. Like I said, we're going to be talking about creating a better homepage. We're going to go ahead and jump into that right now. If I go back to here, do you guys have audio now? Do you guys have audio now that I'm back on this scene? Is the audio back on now? Hello, hello, hello. No audio, no audio. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Any audio at all? Okay, audio is working here. Okay, one sec. Let me go back to here. You guys, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Okay, working here. Yes, yes. Coming back to here. And now, is it still working? Put in the number 2 if you guys can hear it work. Any luck? Any luck? Back. Now, is it back here? Is the audio back now? Okay, so it's still going. Okay, thanks. Peter put in the 2. Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. Again, like I said, I was having crazy computer issues. I think it has something to do with something on this scene. So I am sorry about that. We'll keep going through. All right. Okay, so talking about images on your homepage. You want to be, first of all, when you're selecting images for your homepage, you want to make sure that you're intentional, that you are strategic with the images that you are choosing to show on your homepage. And so in order to help you kind of decide that, I kind of came up with this document that you can download in the description below the video. But there's just some things you can go through here. So first of all, you need to ask yourself, what is the purpose of your website, right? Is your purpose of your site, because it's going to be different for different people. Is the purpose of your site for acquisition? Are you strictly using your website, the front end of your site, to try to get new clients? Is it to show off your work? Is it to get clients to their galleries? What is the purpose of your homepage? And the way you answer that question should help you start selecting images for your homepage, because any image that you should select should be getting you closer to that purpose. So again, if it's acquisition, if it's for getting new clients, then you need to ask yourself when you're choosing images, is this an image that's going to help me take on new clients? If not, that's an image that you know you don't need to show on your homepage. All right. Next, what type of photography do you want to do more of? Right. And this is a kind of a trick question, but not really, because the answer to this could be based on a couple of things. But do you want to do more photography that's going to make you more money, or do you want to do more photography that you enjoy? Either answer to those is correct, and sometimes it could be the same thing. For instance, if you like doing weddings, and weddings is a pretty profitable photography business, then the answer to that is I want to do more weddings because it makes me money and that's what I enjoy. However, sometimes we might want to do more weddings just because it makes us more money, but it's not necessarily the type of photography that we really enjoy doing, but we're running a business and we have to make money. Because whatever type of photography you want to do more of and you want to focus on, that is what you need to showcase on your homepage, right? So if you want to shoot more weddings, you need to focus on wedding images on your homepage. If you want to show the diversity of your skill set, if you want to show that you can do, I do weddings, but I also do headshots. If you want to show that, it's okay to maybe slip 1 or 2 headshot images in there, but really save the showing your diversity, save that for your portfolio. So if you want to do more weddings, if you want to focus on weddings, those are the images you want to be showing on your homepage. You can have a portfolio drop down where you can show the diversity of your work and your skills in there. But whatever photography you want to do more of, those are the types of images you need to be showing on your homepage. What type of clients do you want to attract? Do you want to attract people who want to have really rustic, Southern style weddings? Do you want to attract people who want to have really urban type of weddings, or maybe really low key weddings? Whatever client you want to attract, you need to show images that they can relate to. You need to show images that will say, oh, this is what I'm looking for because this photographer does this type of photography. So again, making sure that you are asking yourself what the purpose of your homepage is, what type of photography you want to do more of, and then what kind of clients do you want to attract, and then you're weighing your image selection for your homepage against all of these questions. All right, the next slide is you want to wow your visitors, but you don't want to overwhelm them. All right, you want to think of your homepage images like they're your elevator pitch. Right? Everybody knows what an elevator pitch is. If you could only show somebody 5 to 10 photos to convince them to hire you as a photographer, what photos are you going to show them? And that is what you want to be showing on your homepage, right? You don't want to overwhelm them with all this stuff. You want to show them, if you had 5 to 10 images that you could pull out and show somebody, and that's all they would let you show them before they decided if they were going to hire you or not. What 5 or 10 images are you going to show that person? And that is what you want showing on your website. You don't want to overwhelm them with a whole bunch of stuff. You want to create interest. You want to make them want to dig in and learn more about you and to learn more about what you offer. All right. And then think of it like Netflix, right? Just like Netflix has a lot of different things that we can watch, there are a lot of photographers out there for people to choose from, right? So you want to think about the last time you were scrolling through Netflix or YouTube or wherever you go to watch content. Think about what made you choose a movie or a video that you wanted to invest your time in to watch. You know, was it something that a friend recommended? Was it because of the thumbnail that you saw? Was it because of the description? Think about those things, right? When you go and you're looking through Netflix and you're trying to figure out what you want to watch, chances are you're probably looking at something based on a friend's recommendation. So never ever underestimate the power of recommendation or referrals. But you're also quickly looking at that thumbnail image and then you're really quickly reading the description, right? You would probably not watch a movie if you opened up its description and you had this gigantic page of stuff that they expected you to read to kind of get you information about it. You want to see really quick, what are the highlights? Is this something that I'm going to love and invest my time in or not? You don't spend a lot of time there unless it's something that you're interested in, and then you move forward. Again, the whole point is to make sure that your visitors want to learn and see more of your work and learn more about you. All right. Okay, moving on. You want to make sure that you keep your content fresh and relevant. All right, so you want to make sure that the images on your homepage are fresh. So as we progress as photographers, our homepage images need to reflect that. All right, so as you're getting better and as you're learning more and as you're upgrading your gear and as you're improving what you're working with and your skills are getting better, you want to make sure that you go back and revisit that homepage and make sure that the images showing on your homepage are reflecting that progress that you've made, right? Make sure that you're going back and you're keeping that content fresh. Now, I'm not telling you to update your homepage images after every single shoot, but at a minimum, you need to at least go back and look at your homepage images at least once a year, maybe every 6 months. Make sure that you are keeping that content fresh. It looks a little bad if a client goes to your website and then in a couple of years later, you are still showing the same few images on your homepage as you were a couple of years before. People start wondering, are they busy? Are they progressing? Are they still doing exactly the same as they were before? So keep that content fresh. And then the next thing is keep your images relevant to your focus, right? Sometimes when we start our photography business, we might think we're going to go down one path. We might think, oh, we're going to be a portrait photographer. That's what we're going to focus on. Or we're going to be a wedding photographer, and that's what we're going to focus on. And then somewhere during that journey, we kind of figure out wedding photography is not really my thing. So I need to make sure that I go back to my homepage and update those homepage images so that it's relevant to what I'm focusing on. So if I decide that I really want to focus on portrait sessions, not so much on weddings, I need to make sure that I go back, update that homepage so that if you go there, you look at my images and it's very obvious that I'm focusing on portraits. Not that I'm a wedding photographer that does portraits, but that my focus, that my specialty is portraits. So you need to make sure that you keep those homepage images relevant to your current focus. And then you want to make sure that when you're going back and you're checking to make sure your content's fresh, you're checking to make sure that it's relevant, you want to replace images. You don't want to keep constantly adding new images to your homepage. Again, your homepage images are your elevator pitch. You have a short amount of time where people are going to spend on there, and you want to present them with the best images, but you don't want to overwhelm them. So as you're updating this content, if you've kind of got past that 10 image mark, that's where you really want to start thinking about replacing your homepage images instead of just adding more images on there. And make sure that you are putting your newest, best content, your best images up front in the gallery so that when somebody lands on your site, those images are going to be the first ones that they see. making sure that you're replacing images, you're pulling out old images, you're pulling out images that are no longer relevant to what you're focusing on, and you're replacing them with newer, fresher, and relevant content. All right. So that is all about talking about your images for your homepage. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump in. We're going to talk about the header menu, drop downs, and some welcome message and things like that. But hey, again, you guys, thank you so much for bearing with me through the audio issues. Hopefully that's the end of it. And if you have questions as I'm going through this, make sure you get those in the chat. Richard's going to be feeding those questions over to me, and I'm going to be answering those questions for you as well. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about your homepage menu. So I'm going to jump into customize view for my website. So I'm going to hover over website. We're going to right click on preview site. And then we're just gonna, and let me show you that really quick. So I'm opening this up in a new tab. This way I have customize view and I have edit view open in 2 tabs, so I can kind of bounce back and forth. We're gonna jump in here and we're gonna talk about the header menu and setting this up and making sure that you're using drop downs. All right, so we're gonna go in here and we're gonna go to edit page. And the first thing that you need to know is that whenever, and especially if you're new here at Zenfolio, your homepage can have a total of up to 3 different menus. All right, so just to show you where that information is, if you go to options, up here in the top on page elements, right here, there is a page header menu, there is a page footer menu, then there's also the homepage menu. And what I usually almost always will tell you or recommend is to use your page header menu, and that's this one up here. That's because this menu is available on the rest of your entire website. So the homepage menu is a special menu that's really only used on the homepage. Once people leave the homepage, it switches to either the header menu or the footer menu. Well, if you want people to be able to navigate your site pretty easily, it's best if that navigation experience is consistent. And the best way to do that is to turn off that homepage menu and just use the page header. But just so you guys can see, I'm going to turn all of these on really quick and apply this so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here. All right, so here we are. This is the header menu. It's attached to my header. This is the homepage menu. And then down here below, I don't have anything in my footer, but there would be a footer menu down here if I had something actually in the footer menu. So this is 3 different menus. But again, you want to keep things consistent. So what I suggest doing on your homepage is going in here to options, turning off that homepage menu. Go ahead and hide the homepage logo as well, because your header menu can have a logo. I like to hide the footer menu and just go with the page header menu right here and then apply that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and apply that. And so now any page that a client navigates to, as long as I have it turned on that page, which it should be by default, will have this header menu, and the navigation up here will stay the same no matter where a visitor or a client goes. And this is why I love the header menu, because it keeps that navigation the same. When your visitors and your clients go from your portfolio to your contact or to pre-order or to wherever you're sending them, right? They're not going to have to figure out where things are on that page. That nice familiar header menu is going to be up at the top, easy for them to navigate. All right, so you want to make sure that you're using that header menu. And then my next point, utilize drop-down menus, okay? Especially, again, if you're just getting started on Zenfolio, if you've just created an account and you have the default site menu items set up over here, chances are your portfolio link is not a drop-down like this. Chances are it's just a portfolio link. So it probably looks something like this. I'm going to remove this really quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a standard portfolio link, which is usually there by default. All right, and we're going to link this to a group. And we're going to link it to my portfolio group right here. Okay. And so now, just to show you what I did, I created this portfolio menu item, which is usually what's set up by default. If you just created an account, or if you remember when you created an account, you probably remember this. And basically this is linking to the visitor view of this folder right here. All right, and I think I only have like 2 or 3 galleries in there, so I only have 2 or 3 galleries. So that is really not that bad, but let me show you what that navigation looks like to a visitor. So I definitely recommend having your portfolio up to the top, but if I was a visitor on this and I was going in and I was going to go look at my portfolio, let's just go ahead and jump into the preview here. If I was going to go in here and I was going to look at my portfolio, I go here, I click on portfolio, and now I have these, and depending on how the page is set up, right, I have these different galleries or images or something here to click on and view. And if I click on this right here, this is going to take me to that portfolio gallery for wedding photography. Now, as a visitor, if I want to go back and look at one of my other portfolios, I have to do this. I have to go all the way back to portfolio and then go and click on another gallery, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think about that, that is almost 2 extra clicks per portfolio that they have to make just to view the diversity of your work. And so if you're a photographer who does a lot of different things and you really want to showcase that on your site, having a portfolio link like this is not the best way to do it because it's so cumbersome to navigate around through those different portfolios. So what you want to do is you want to turn that portfolio link into a drop down. So we're going to go back to customize view. I'm going to hover over this. I'm just going to go ahead and remove this, and then we're going to create a new site menu item. I'm going to turn it into a drop down, and then we're going to link it to those different portfolio galleries. So we're going to go add new. We're going to say portfolio. I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. We're going to say show a drop down menu. We're going to update this. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and just drag it to the top. And then I'm going to hover over the little plus button right here. And we're going to add in our first portfolio. So let's say we primarily focus on weddings. Whatever your primary focus is, that's what you want to be your first portfolio. Let's say we primarily focus on weddings. We're going to add weddings up here. I'm going to hit enter. And then we're going to link this to a group, gallery, or collection. We'll hit select. We're going to go in here, expand this. We're not going to link on that group. We're going to expand that. And then we're going to go to our wedding portfolio right here. Select that. And then we're going to hit update. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and add one more. So we'll go back over here again. I'll hit this. Let's do engagements. All right, hit enter. Same steps. Go right here. Go to that engagements gallery. Hit select and update and reload it. All right, so now you guys will be able to see the difference in this navigation. So if I go up here to draft preview this, now as a visitor, I just have to hover over this, and then I can choose which portfolio I want to view. No more of going into that group, selecting the gallery, having to go back in that group, select a different one. I can go right here. I can go to weddings. And then once I'm in weddings, if I'm done looking at weddings, I can go back up here and go to engagements right here. And you guys can see how much faster that is. So if you think about your portfolios, if you have a lot of portfolios, utilizing that drop-down menu is just going to make the navigation that much smoother and quicker for your visitors. All right, which brings me to the last couple of points. Design a path that you want people to follow on your header menu, right? So when you think about your homepage again, is it for acquisition? My personal website is all about acquisition. I don't want my clients actually going to my homepage because I don't want them trying to figure out things. I email clients the direct link to their galleries. My homepage is focused on visitors, and I have taken my site menu and designed a path for them to follow. So when you think about that, right, you want to show them your work, you want to give them a little bit of information about you, and then you want to initialize a contact. And so you want to make sure that you're structuring these menu items so that they can do that, so that they can follow that path and get to what you're wanting them to do, which is to contact you and hire you as a photographer. And the last point about updating your homepage and making it better for 2020 is, guys, use your welcome message, right? One of the biggest things that I talk about on site reviews is that I look at these people's websites and it takes me 4 or 5 times of getting to their contact or their information to even know if they're a photographer in my area. Right? So if you think about when you search for stuff, let's say you're looking for a dog groomer, you're looking for an event planner, right? And you do the event planner near me. Have you guys ever come across sites by accident where maybe your website or maybe your data was being read wrong and you were actually being shown listings that were not so close to you, or people that were not in your area, or maybe you were out of town and you were doing a search for photographers and it was pulling photographers that were in that area and not where you were actually going to be, but you really didn't know because that information wasn't there. If you utilize your welcome message and you just quickly put information in there about, hey, I'm a wedding photographer, or I'm a Raleigh, North Carolina wedding photographer. If you just take a few minutes and do that, that lets people know within an instant when they're on your homepage if you're somebody that's actually indeed in their area. So just to show you that, it depends on what layout you're using, but if you go up to options, go to page elements, make sure that your welcome message is set to show, and then in your welcome message, just type something really simple like, I am a Raleigh wedding photographer. You can do a lot more. You don't have to leave it this small. You can put a lot of information in here, but just simply having this information on your homepage lets your visitors know this is a photographer I can hire because they're telling me right out of the gate that there's somebody in my area and I don't have to dig through their site to try and make sure that they actually are indeed located somewhere near me. All right, guys. So that is it for the stuff today. We're going to take a quick break and then I'm going to come back and answer your questions.
Hey guys, Happy New Year. We all made it. High five. My name's Richard. I'm with the Zenfolio Customer Success team. And yes, the same Richard that hangs out with you guys in chat. I just wanted to pop in today just to let you all know, for those who are watching the recorded version of this, we'd love to have you come on and hang out with us on the live stream. I do know that not everyone can drop what they're doing to do that, which is why we appreciate you all who are here now. But we do appreciate you all who are watching recorded as well, which is why we have a link below the description where you can drop some email questions in, and Robert would be happy to answer them for you the following week.
All right, so I'm going to do some question and answer. If you guys have questions, even if it's not about what we talked about, we still got about 29 minutes left. Make sure you get those questions in the chat so I can get those questions answered for you guys today. Richard's going to be passing me those questions. All right, so we're going to start it off with a question from... One second here. And my questions button is not working for some reason. Of course it would not be working. All right, a question from Teresa White. She said, will the SEO be affected when deleting old images? Why is my question button not working? That's driving me crazy. Let's see. One second, you guys. Let me see if I can figure out why my question button is not working. Okay, I have no idea. Sorry, guys. All right, again, Teresa White says, will the SEO be affected when deleting old images? So I think, Teresa, what you're asking about is when I was talking earlier about taking old images off of your homepage and replacing them with new ones. I'm not going to lie, I can't say with 100% certainty that that is not going to have an effect on your SEO. But what I can tell you is that you don't have to delete those images. There's so many things, so many different ways you can do it. So you can take that image, like if this is a homepage image right here that you were showing on your homepage and you wanted to move it somewhere else, you just wanted to stop showing that on your homepage. You don't have to delete it. You can do this, and you can take it and you can move it to another you can move it to another gallery. And as long as that's like a portfolio gallery where it's public, like maybe go ahead and move it into your wedding portfolio or just move it into a public gallery somewhere. That image is still going to be online. It's still going to be a part of your site. It's still going to be readable by search engines. And so any kind of bad effect of taking that image down would kind of be voided by you just moving it from your homepage gallery so that it's no longer showing up on your homepage to just moving it into a different gallery there. So that is what I would suggest if you're worried about that having a negative impact. But I really would not be that worried about it. Most of the SEO for your homepage is going to come from different areas on your site, like the homepage title, the description, your welcome message, your site menu items. All of those things are really, really beneficial for your SEO, probably more than the images showing on your homepage. And so if it was me, what I would probably do is I would probably focus more on those parts of the SEO and not be so concerned about the images. You can go to our YouTube channel and there's a video, I think it's called Homepage SEO. But if you just go to our YouTube channel, or if I can get Richard to throw it out in the chat, you can do a search for that video. It's called Homepage SEO or just Zenfolio SEO. It talks about all the different things that you can do specifically for your homepage to help boost that SEO. But that's a great question, Teresa. Hopefully I gave you a close answer to what you were looking for. If I missed it completely, please feel free to clarify in the chat. But great question. All right, let's see. Next, I got a question from Christine, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce your last name. I'm going to try Snitkin. She said, will Zenfolio be adding pixels? My social media directs my fans to my Zenfolio website and would love to be able to track which posts are the most successful if Zenfolio had pixels. This is definitely something that has been requested before, and I believe Richard threw that user voice forum link out in the chat. Definitely make sure that you go click on that. It's something that I think we're looking into. I unfortunately I don't have a definite answer, or a definite yes or no answer. I think it's something that we're looking into, but definitely please go hit up that user voice forum and go to where people have requested it before. You could definitely put in your comments on that. I think the only thing holding back from the pixels actually working is because right now you do not have access to the head tag of the HTML code of your Zenfolio site. And that is what you need to actually implement that. So I think that's why it's not there yet, but it's definitely something that we have been asked before and we're looking into. Great question though. All right, let me grab another question here really quick. Let's see if I can get my question thing to work. Nope, it doesn't want to work. I don't know why it doesn't want to work, but that's slightly annoying. Okay, question. Roxanne Bay says, any tips on selling mostly prints for framing? So that really depends on what you're looking for, Roxanne. One of the things I would say is if you want to sell your prints to be framed, you can definitely go ahead and sell them in packages. And the reason I say packages is that sounds funny, but you can have a package set up already pre-configured with frames in it, so that when somebody buys that print, they are going to basically buy a pre-configured framed and mounted option. And just to show you what that looks like really quick, if we go to selling and we go to it's going to be under packages right over here, and we're just going to add a new package really quick. And let's say this is a 16 by 24 black framed. Let's just say framed and mounted print. All right. So it's a 16 by 24 framed and mounted print. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this package up so that when somebody selects this product, it's already framed and mounted for them. So this works really good if you want to use specific frames and mounting options for your artwork. So if you're like a fine art photographer, if you're a landscape photographer, and there are very specific frames and mounts and mats that you like, that you know work really well, definitely setting up a pre-configured option like this will be really helpful. Now, if you want to give your clients options and let them pick and choose the frames that they want to use, this might not be the route to take. But if you're wanting to sell your stuff already framed, this is going to make it a lot easier for your clients. So what you're going to do first is, obviously, we're going to leave this to be one photo because it's for a single print. We're going to go down here. We're going to click Add Products, and then we're going to choose a print size. Now, I'm on all vendors. I would definitely not do this from the all vendor screen. Click up here and choose a vendor that you want to work with. I'm going to go ahead and use Impix. We're going to go with prints. We're going to come down here and grab that 16 by 24 print right here. We're going to add that into the cart. And then what we're going to do is right here is the frame and mount option. So we can go ahead and have this package where it's already pre-configured with the framing and mounting options in place. So if you click frame and mount, you can say, okay, let's go down here and let's choose a frame. So maybe there's one of these frames that you really like. Maybe you like the flat black frame right here, or the black flat metal frame. You could choose your frame. All right, and it kind of shows you over there what that frame kind of looks like. All right, there's a black curved frame. You can see what that looks like. So let's, whatever frame you like, you can pick that here. And then the mat. So this is really cool. You can go ahead and choose the mat option. It actually shows you what it's going to look like in that mat. And then if you want to pick a different glass option, you can do that as well. And then you apply it. And then you would just come down here, mark up your selling price to whatever it needs to be. I keep putting $5,000 in there. I guess I want $5,000. Mark up your selling price to what it needs to be, and then you can just add that package into your price list, and you now have a pre-configured framed and mounted print. So when somebody selects that, they don't even have to choose the options. It's already mounted. And if you want to configure multiple options, maybe you want to have different frames with different sizes, different things like that, you can do that, and that's going to make selling those framed prints much more easier for you and for your clients because it's all already pre-configured there for you. So hopefully, Roxanne, that gives you some ideas. Hopefully something to work with anyway, but great question. I really appreciate your questions. Let's go ahead and grab another one. All right. So next question. Richard Rosaro Photography says, how important is it to rename each image in your portfolio and add alt text? So that would depend on what you are trying to do with your portfolio, right? How important is it if you are really depending on your website as your source of acquisition? If you are really depending on clients finding you online, or maybe you're not a client photographer, maybe you're a fine art photographer and you're trying to sell your photos. If that's the case, if you're depending on online traffic as your main source of income, whichever way it comes, then it's really important to rename those photos and to add alt tags and to keyword them and to make sure that that stuff is showing. Because a photo alone by itself without any of that extra information does not tell search engines much about what your page is about. And so if you are wanting to drive traffic to your site through your portfolios, which you should want to be doing, it is really important to go in there and to take advantage of any space that you can take advantage of to drop things in there to help with your discoverability. So going in here, clicking on an image and going to details, and you can give it a title here. You know, you can drop keywords in the title, but you want to make sure throughout this entire process that you understand that you're writing for two audiences. All right, I talk about this a lot when I talk about SEO, but there's two audiences. Search engines only really care about information that people can actually read on your site. And so with that in mind, you need to know that you're writing for search engines to help them index your page to understand what it's about. But visitors are actually going to be able to see this information. And so you need to make sure that they can actually understand what you're writing, and they look at it and it doesn't just have a bunch of keyword looking stuff on there, that it actually makes some kind of logical sense when people are seeing it. So I personally would, anything that you have public that you're trying to use to draw traffic to you online, definitely go in there, update the title. All right, update the title, write a caption. Go ahead and make sure that you have the alt attribute in there. Now you can set it to be the same as the title as you want. I think that's perfectly fine. That way it's one less step you have to do. Go ahead and add some keywords in here and then make sure that you categorize it as well. But if you do all of that work, you have to make sure that that stuff is actually showing on your site, because none of that work matters if it's not showing on your site. So once you do that, you need to preview that gallery. All right. And once you're in preview for that gallery, you want to make sure that you go here to edit page, and you want to make sure that captions, keywords, titles, and all of that stuff is showing on your site. So you're going to go to options, uncheck use default, go to page elements, and you're going to make sure that caption is set to show. Okay. You're going to make sure that the categories and keywords is set to show. All right. Make sure that that's showing here. Then you're going to go down to your thumbnails, and you're going to make sure that that title is set to show. And you're going to make sure that it's set to show either below the mat, overlay. Make sure that it's set to show all the time and it's not a hover item. So you want to make sure it's set to show all the time. All right. And then you also want to make sure that on your shopping pages, if you're using Quick Shop, which I'll show you in a second, if you're using Quick Shop, you want to make sure that it is also showing your images, captions, and keywords. So if this gallery had a caption, it would be showing right up here. Now the image titles are showing right here. And then if we scroll down to the very bottom, there's a little categories and keyword box right over here. And that's where all the categories and keywords, if I had saved them, would be showing up here for the gallery. And then when you click on an image, that is where the photos, captions, keywords, and all that come into play. So right now, looking at this photo, if I go up to options and I go to Quick Shop, we want to make sure that the title is showing, the caption is showing, and the categories and keywords is showing, so that all of that stuff is there and showing for search engines to read and index. So right here, there's the caption, there's the title, and here are the keywords. And then once you set up and you get that work done, make sure that you click Save as Default. This way it becomes your gallery default settings, so you don't have to go back and do that to a bunch of other galleries individually. Save that as your default and then publish those changes so that those changes go live. So again, doing the hard work of categorizing, keywording things, all of that stuff, it's important, but if you don't have them showing on your site, it doesn't matter. So make sure that you have that stuff showing. Great question, though, Richard. Thanks so much for putting that in the chat. Good question. All right, let's see. Let me grab another question here. All right, let's see. So next question, Roxanne Bay says, can the client choose the image that they would like framed? Absolutely, Roxanne. So that package is basically a product that's on the price list, and it's going to be used just like any other product. When your clients are in the gallery, if you have Quick Shop set up, they're going to see that option over here. And in fact, I'll just show you really quick. So let's go. Whoops. All right, let's go to selling, and let's go. Did I save that package? I can't remember if I saved it or not. So let's see. Did I save it? I saved it. Okay. So let's go to selling and price list, and we'll just add that package to a price list really quick. So let's go to our engagements price list, and let's put that package in here. Sorry guys, my internet is being a little bit slow. Like I said, about 20 minutes before I went to go live, like my computer decided to do crazy things. The camera stopped working, my monitor stopped working, my internet stopped working, and I was like frantically trying to get everything fixed, and I thought I had everything fixed like 5 minutes before we went live, but I'm not sure what's going on. I guess there's still some gremlins or something in the system. But all right, so here we are in the price list. We're going to go add products. All right, we're going to click up here, go to our name. That's where the packages is going to be. We're going to grab packages. Here's that 16 by 24. We'll add that in, and then we're going to go down to our quick shop, make sure that we add that over to our quick shop, and I'm going to actually move that up to the top. And then we're going to save that price list, and we'll assign it to a gallery. I'll pull that gallery up, and I'll show you how that will work. So we'll just go ahead and go in and add that to the engagements gallery. Save that. And then we're going to go to photos. And then you guys know I always do this. I do crazy stuff with this account sometimes when I'm demoing it. So I have to go in here and make sure that all of the images are following the gallery settings. So I'm going to click on the images, go to all, make sure that under this, we go to price list. Okay, then they all are following the gallery settings. Okay, so what we're going to do really quick is we're going to open this up like a client would see it. This is definitely something that I suggest that you do if you're testing out your site, if you're getting ready to go live, or if you've gone live for a while, but you've done some, renovations to your site and you want to check it out. Please make sure to check it out like a visitor would see it. And when I say that, what I mean is you have to be logged out of your Zenfolio account or in a different browser or a private window, which is what I like to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Access. And sorry, let me get back to the gallery really quick. So I'm going to go back to the gallery instead of the photo settings. I'm going to go click on the gallery. And then we're going to go to Access. We're going to go to Sharing. And this is where we can get the link to that gallery. So copy URL right here. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to go into Google Chrome up here. You guys, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I go to File, New Incognito Window. Or if you guys like to do shortcuts, you can do Shift Command N. But we're going to go to a new incognito window and we're going to paste that URL in. And now we're going to be viewing this just like a visitor would see it, which is why I'm having to do visitor sign in. So let's just do visitor sign in really quick. All right, and we're going to get signed in here. And then I'll show you what that looks like. So now that we're in here, if I click on an image right here, over here on the quick shop, here is that 16 by 24 framed and mounted print. So if I want to buy this photo in that configuration, I just click that little button. Maybe that's not the one I want. Maybe I want to go on like this and say, okay, this is the one that I want. Or maybe I want to go on over here and say, this is the one that I want. I can order any photo that I want in that option. Now, some of these I don't think will have that option available because they're not big enough. And I think that I have order approval turned off. So, so order approval is turned off. So it's just going to be the photos that are big enough for this. But again, they can select whatever photo they want. It just depends on how you have things set up. Hopefully that answers your question though, Roxanne. Great question. Definitely appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Answer that question. Let me grab another question really quick. All right, let's see. So next question, how do my keywords show up when I import my photos? So that is, I think I kind of just answered that. So I was kind of showing you that stuff, but whenever you keyword photos, you don't have to do it in Zenfolio. So as long as you're doing it in the EXIF or the IPTC data, that information will flow into Zenfolio whenever you upload photos. So, for example, if you're keywording your photos in Lightroom and you go export your photos, I said that right. If you go export your photos, when you upload those into Zenfolio, those keywords are going to be in there. One thing you do need to check though, because this happened to me, whenever you export photos from Lightroom, there's an option in the export settings that says metadata. you need to go to that field and you need to make sure that that field is set to include all of your metadata in the export. Because if you don't, Lightroom's default is to include the copyright only, and then you're going to do exactly what I did the first couple of times. You're going to go through, you're going to spend hours keywording photos, you're going to export them, you're going to upload those to Zenfolio, you're going to go in super excited that all of your photos are keyworded, and you're going to look and the keywords are not going to be there, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I just spent all that time keywording my photos, why aren't they here? So when you export your photos out of Lightroom in the export settings, make sure that you have it set to include all of the metadata. Now, if you're keywording photos in Adobe Photoshop, I don't remember the exact flow, but I think it goes something like image data, IPTC section, and then in there's different fields that you can fill out. And once you put information in those fields, then you can save that photo as a JPEG or whatever, and those keywords should stick within that image when you upload it to Zenfolio. If you're strictly looking to keyword photos, I can't tell you enough how fast it is to do it in Lightroom. If you don't have Lightroom and you only have Photoshop, I would almost upload your photos into Zenfolio first and then keyword them once they're on Zenfolio. All right. And then once you do that, the keyword should show up in here. So you just click on a photo, go to details, and then that information should be right here. So whatever title you have, if you wrote a caption, all of that stuff should be right over here. Now, if you are a big fan of spreadsheets like I am, you can actually do this through the bulk meta updater, which I don't have time to take you guys through that. There should be a couple of either links in our support center or on our YouTube channel on using the bulk meta updater. If you like working with data more than you like doing things visually, the bulk meta updater lets you do keywording, image file name modification, and all of that stuff in spreadsheets rather than visually doing it like in Lightroom or here. So that's another option that you have as well. Great question though. Definitely thanks for asking that one. Let me grab another question. Guys, we got about 5 more minutes left. So if you have questions, make sure that you get those in the chat so I can get those answered. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I possibly can in the next 5 minutes. All right, let's see. Let me grab another question really quick. Okay, next question. Can you select multiple folders at one time to upload into Zenfolio? Absolutely, as long as you're utilizing the Google Chrome web browser. So this is going to be key, you guys. If you want to be able to upload folders into Zenfolio, you need to make sure that you are utilizing Google Chrome. That is the only browser currently that supports folder upload. Now, if you're just getting started on Zenfolio, this is absolutely the fastest way to get content uploaded and in an organized manner here on Zenfolio. So if you're just getting started on Zenfolio, this is what I recommend that you do. Anything that you're going to upload that you want to have organized, go ahead and organize it in folders on your computer first. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that you can only go 3 folders deep. So you could have one folder. Inside of that folder, you could have another folder. And then inside of that folder, you could have one more folder. But after that, you cannot have any more. Okay, so 3 folders deep is all you can do. But let me kind of show you what I'm talking about here really quick. So I'm going to pull over a Finder window because I'm actually on a Mac. So I'm going to pull over this Finder window really quick. And you guys can see I have all these folders in here, and they're kind of under this one main folder right here that says Robert's Demo Portfolio. And so let's say I'm just getting started. I have my images organized in folders here, and I want to get them uploaded and organized like this. So I have that main folder, and here I have portraits. If we go back, I even have a folder that has 2 subfolders in here. And then you get to images. And let's say I want to get all that uploaded and organized. Now I can just simply upload this folder. So again, in Google Chrome, you're going to go to all photographs, all right, or any other folder that you already have or group, as we call them, in your account. You're going to click upload, and then you're simply going to drag that folder that you want to upload in here. and we're going to recreate that structure for you. So it creates all of the subfolder organization in here. All right, so you can do it that way. Let's say you don't want to upload that main folder, but you want to upload all of these subfolders. All right, so what you can do is instead of dragging the main folder in there, just jump inside of that folder, do a Command or a Control A. I think it's Control A on the PC. Command or Control A. That will select everything in the folder. Then you can just drag those in here and upload those just like this, and it will keep that organization in there for you that you set up, and then you just start the upload. All right. So that's something that you can do to upload multiple folders. Definitely the best way, in my opinion, especially when you're getting started, to get that content uploaded and in there. All right. Okay, let's see. Let me grab another question. I got like 1 minute, 50 seconds left. I'm going to answer Parker Harrison's question. He says the checkout process is rather lengthy. How can this be shortened to to ease the customer checkout process? So Parker, great question. I don't have time to go through that today, but what I will tell you is I've done several live streams on the client checkout process. So what I would suggest to you is go to our YouTube channel and just Google search on our YouTube channel, customizing the client buying experience. Okay, what that's going to do is that's going to pull up a couple of search results. There's going to talk about customizing the client buying experience. It's going to talk about the best client buying experience for volume photography. And on those live streams, I really deep dive into customizing and just streamlining that client buying experience so it is much faster and much more streamlined for your clients. Great question, though. Thanks for getting that in there at the last minute. Go check out those videos. All right. But hey, I want to say